Hello Uplanders, I'm YK2012, founder of the Upland Guide, and I need your help today to get this message to Saquon Barkley. He is a running back for the New York Giants, and he has entered the Metaverse, and I need your help to tell him that his house is backwards. In this video I'm going to explain some important things to consider when determining where to position your structure on your lot. The Upland Guide has developed a guideline to help you determine where to place your structure, and you can find that in the description down below. First things first, this is Saquon Barkley's home. He lives in Rutherford, and we can go into the property, click on the owner, and we can actually see that first of all he has his own custom block explorer, which looks a lot like him. And we can see he owns one property, and he is a verified Uplander. If you think you see a famous block explorer, always make sure to come down into the badges and make sure that they are in fact a verified Uplander. So here, this is his property, and we can see that the address is 65 Eastern Way, which means that that is this street over here. And you can see that his front door is actually facing Meadow Road, so his home is on backwards. If we actually go into the property and we check out the street view, we can actually see how the house is situated. So this is the property, and we're looking at the back of it, and you can see that the street is Meadow Avenue. It's important to take note of these details in the Metaverse. You can see here that I am actually Saquon's neighbor, and I'm just starting to build my house next to him, and I've put my house facing here on Eastern Way, very close to the front edge of the street. It just doesn't look great that I have my house facing one way, his house facing another way. It would be really nice to see some sort of uniformity here. And based on the fact that his house is on backwards, it doesn't really look good. Now, obviously, I can't blame Saquon. He bought this property from someone else, and he's new to Upland, so I don't expect him to understand this. I also don't entirely blame the previous owner who constructed this house, because there really isn't any good information to think how to properly position your structures. I know that when I first got Spark and I first started building my home, I actually put my home on backwards as well. This here is the first property that I constructed a building on, and you can see that I actually made the exact same mistake. The address is on Arlington Street, and I actually have my front door facing San Jose Avenue. It's very easy to make this mistake. If you're not actually paying attention and aware of some of these things, then it's very easy to just put the structure on in the other way. It fits both ways, and it works. So there are a lot of detailed nuances to be aware of. Just scrolling around here, we can see that there are other buildings of different shapes, different colors, different positions. Let's see if this one's on properly or not. This one's also backwards. So everyone seems to be doing their own thing and building however they'd like. And obviously that's allowed. Anyone can do whatever they want. But it does look a lot nicer if you do have some coordinated buildings. This is the Upland Guide website, and this page is detailing the different types of building guidelines that I have developed. And you can see here the difference between two different areas. This one clearly looks like everyone is independently building their own properties, but here you can see that there is definitely some sort of coordinated building going on. And this looks a lot nicer than this neighborhood over here. So this neighborhood is actually a node, and that means that there is a group of people who are collectively working together, owning these properties, developing the area in order to hold future events or open businesses or host all sorts of different types of things within the Metaverse. When you look at a neighborhood like this, you can definitely appreciate the type of work and coordination that is being put into developing this area. This picture is taken of Midtown Terrace, which is a neighborhood in San Francisco, and this node is controlled by UDU. And I definitely give a tip of the hat to Ben68, who is one of the leaders of that community, and it looks like he's doing quite the job in developing that neighborhood. Back here in Rutherford, Saquon, if you're watching this video right now, I'm asking you to please demolish your building. I'm more than happy to help you rebuild it in the proper position. If you don't like the way mine is positioned, I'll knock mine down as well. Let's talk, let's hash it out, let's figure out the best way to position our buildings and build up this street, build up this city, and build up this metaverse. If you're not watching, everyone else who is, I need your help to definitely like this video, leave a comment, help me boost this thing, share it, and we got to get Saquon watching this video so he knows that he needs to be prepared for people to come and receive autographs, and he definitely doesn't want to have his home on backwards. So please help me blow up this video. Now, what should actually be your thought process when deciding to construct a new building? The first thing that I would do is definitely to look around the neighborhood, look around the street, and see if there's any other structures built on here. If there are, I would take a look and see how they are positioned. I would take a look at what type of structures there are. I would take a look at the colors of the structures, and I would try and match myself up with that. And here you're looking for that uniformity. If you see that there is some sort of coordinated building in the area, you should try to the best of your ability to conform to that. There might obviously be reasons you might not want to, but if you're trying to help build up the area, it's good to conform to something that already exists. If there's a situation like this one where there really isn't a lot of building going on, then you're kind of free to choose what you'd like to do. As I mentioned before, you definitely want to make sure that your building is facing the right way. Here Saquon has a very interesting property size and shape, where he can really determine how much front lawn versus back lawn he wants on his property. So there are advantages to each one of those. There's a lot of interesting things that we can think about and discuss when we're trying to build up the metaverse. It's also important to take a look at the colors. If there's color uniformity, I would definitely suggest conforming with that. Now, once I realized that I was actually neighbors to Saquon, I started building this structure, and I actually used the colors blue and red as my color coding, because those are the colors of the New York Giants, and Saquon is a New York Giant, so I thought that that would make complete sense, and it would be really good for this area to have those colors, especially now that we have a verified Uplander living in the area. The guideline that I have developed, that you can find in the link in the description below, details a lot of other things to take into account in some form of a checklist that you can use in order to determine how to best position your structure. I'm not going to go into all of those right now, but I definitely encourage you to check that out. Be more thoughtful of how you are positioning your structures. Once again, please like this video, help me share it, leave comments. Let's blow this video up, because Saquon needs to see that his house is on backwards. And once again, please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so.